Okay, the last thing we need to do is to top stitch. And we have to go through the back, through both layers, starting here and going right to here. And I'm gonna pin it from this side. Okay, so I just went ahead and got this laying really nice and flat, making sure that the hem matches up and that this matches up good here. And when I stitched this pulled back a little bit on the lining, which I'm okay with because I would rather not have the lining show anyway there. But if I don't like that, I could always just go back and, you know, if I want, I mean, I can, it's just a matter of pressing it really. So I'm just gonna keep this nice and flat, and then I'm going to put a pin through here, and then here I'm going to put a pin through that corner. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the front, and I'm going to make sure that that pin, yep, see that pin starts right here because I want to start right at that seam, and then this pin goes right to here. So that's good. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to stitch this. I'm going to put another pin just to make sure this stays good. And yeah, so now I'm going to sew right along this line because here's my good angle. So why not use that? Now remember, we're top stitching here with this lovely green. So I'm not going to back stitch, and I'm going to pull my threads through. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my needle. Let me see. I just want to grab these to make sure where's this? Yeah. I want to grab these to make sure that I don't, you know, that I have enough thread on the top and the bottom. Okay, so now I'm just going to put that here, right there. Okay. And put my needle down. And like I said, I've got this and I've got this. And I'm just going to, I just want to make sure that they stay. So I'm going to kind of put my finger there. And then I think I can move this pin. And then I'm just going to stitch right on that previous stitching line. And I'm going to stitch right up to this pin because that's where the seam is on the front. I've marked, and there. Okay? Let's make sure I got that. I think I'm going to do one more stitch because I can always take a stitch out. There. See? I'm right at the pin. Okay, so now I'm going to take that up. I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to leave a tail. Okay, take this pin out. Let's see how that looks on the right side. Okay, let's make it look good. Whoops, here we are. Oh, well, this isn't attached at the side, so it kind of comes up. But anyway, look at that. See, that's perfect. Here and here. That's what I want. And look at how nice it matches. This matches. Ah, I'm just thinking this sample skirt is beautiful. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside now, and I'm going to tie this off. And I think I'm going to take out my little marks here, and I'm just going to pull this gently, and when I pull it, I get the other thread from the top. I've gone through a few layers here, so it might be tricky, but see how now I pull this one out? Okay, now I have both threads from the top right here. So I'm going to do my double knot right over left and left, whoops, and then left over right. Do it again, right over left and left over right. And there you have it. And then I'm going to trim this. I like to go out about 1/4 of an inch and trim that, so we're good with that. And then I'm going to do the same here, do the same thing, double knot. Where you go, right over left. And what's that called? Double, right over left, left over right. Square knot, that's it. Okay, there's also a surgical knot where you go right over right and right over right. At least that's what I've been taught. And then left over right and left over left. And we're going to trim that, and we'll deal with that red thread later. Anyway, there you have it. A beautiful vent with a lining. Look at that, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, now you're ready to go back and sew your front, get your lining on. Sew your front lining on, look how nice that looks. And so you're ready to sew the lining pieces together here, press them good, and then you're also ready to hand stitch this down beside the zipper. And it's okay that there's a little extra room here, because you really do want a little bit of extra room in your lining here and a tiny bit here, because that gives you just a little cushy, a little more cushy. And then that helps your outer flat fabric to last longer. So there you have it.